My name is Ben Peacock, and I'm the Director of the Allied Health Affiliations Department in our Allied Health Division. And this is Ms. Tara Byrd, who is an advisor for some of our programs in our division as well. You'll be hearing from both of us today. We're just going to take a little survey of our programs that we offer here at Pulaski Tech. All right, let's get a couple of housekeeping things out of the way first before we talk about what the actual programs are. The first thing to keep in mind about our division that's a little bit different from all the rest is that applying to the college does not mean that you have applied to an allied health program. Okay, so just because you have filled out an application to the school and maybe selected practical nursing, respiratory therapy, or OTA does not mean that you have applied to that program. Okay, it's a separate process, so that's important to realize. As a part of that application process for our programs, you have to understand that there are certain testing requirements, there may be GPA requirement, and there are certainly prerequisite courses that must be completed to be eligible for pretty much all of our programs that we do offer in the Allied Health Division. And at minimum, that is going to include the completion of all your developmental courses. So if your ACT or your COMPASS exam was such that you needed some developmental coursework before you can take your freshman English and your college algebra and those kind of classes, those do have to be completed before you would be eligible for any of the programs. Now when you are ready to apply, most of them are completed on our website. And that is our Allied Health and Human Services page, and I created a short URL so that I didn't have to say click here, 5 times to get to it, because you know how college websites can be so convoluted. So I made you a direct link to go right to our page, and you can select the program and you'll see where to apply on that site once you're ready to go. But the bottom line we want to encourage you here today is we don't want you wasting your time or your money, and I'm sure you don't want to either. So we really encourage you to make an appointment with one of us. We're the two primary people that meet with students for the program before you begin your work toward that degree in that program. So, all right, I'm going to start off here with the Associate of Applied Science and Allied Health. This is probably the most complicated one that we have to offer because there's 6 different options that you can choose in this degree. One of them at the top there is dental assisting. That is our own dental assisting program. Now, Ms. Byrd is going to talk about that in a second, but the dental assisting program itself is actually just a technical certificate. So what this does is let you take an additional set of general education and science courses and make that a degree. An associate degree, so you can turn your technical certificate into an associate degree. The next 3 options, the histotechnology, sleep technology, and surgical technology, are programs that are offered at Baptist Health Schools Little Rock. If you don't know where that is, if you know where the Rave Theater is off Colonel Glenn and 430, that's their campus. So they have a few allied health programs there that are 1 year in length, and you would apply to their program with their school. They're separate from us. Complete their program, come back and finish the same set of general education courses, and again, just like with dental assisting, you would essentially complete a degree instead of just having a technical certificate. The last 2 there, Radiography and Anesthesia Technology, are both our programs, and in partnerships, the Radiography program, or X-Ray Tech, is a partnership with St. Vincent's. And the Anesthesia Tech program is a partnership with Arkansas Children's Hospital. And I'll talk about those a little bit more. So here, if you're interested in one of the Baptist Health programs, this will give you just a rough idea of when and how to apply with them. Their website is bhslr.edu, and you can see their catalog and their requirements. Most of them are pretty minimum requirements. I don't think they require prior college work, just a testing score and completion of a high school diploma or a GED. So you can see their deadlines for the coming year are approaching, and you complete, like I said, you complete their program with them, and then you can come back to us and complete your general education courses for that degree. Okay? Alright, so the radiography program is a new partnership we have with St. Vincent's. And we have had 2 classes so far, and it is working very well. Last year they accepted 18 students, and that is out of a pool of UCA students and Pulaski Tech students. They both apply to that program. UCA students are going for a bachelor's degree. Our students are going for an associate degree. But in reality, you're going to get the same job. So it doesn't, it's really up to you what credentials you would like to have depending on which route you want to take. So, of course, I'm going to encourage the associate degree because that's what we do. So, in order to apply with St. Vincent's, you have to actually apply with them at their hospital. We don't have any kind of ownership or authority on who is selected for that class. They notify us, okay? And that deadline is by March 1st. They require a 2.5 GPA, and we require the prerequisites of Comp 1, college algebra, and an A&P course called Structure and Function of the Human Body. Now, if you're not familiar with that class, it is new to the Pulaski Tech catalog. It is essentially A&P 1 and 2 combined into one semester so that we can kind of shorten the length of time it takes to get this degree done. Now, if you have, and what we would tell you in an advising session as well, is if you have goals of getting something more than an associate degree, you probably need to go ahead and take A&P 1 and 2 because most bachelor's degrees are going to require 2 semesters of that. Okay? So structure and function of the human body will not transfer to any school as A&P 1 or 2. So just keep that in mind, and we can go over that on a one-on-one time as well. So that is their requirements, and as far as financial aid and those kind of considerations, that would continue through Pulaski Tech, and we pay St. Vincent's bill for you. It is a 2-year program, and it does require summer terms. So if you are getting the financial aid, you do have to keep in mind that to withhold some of your fall and spring disbursement in order to pay for the summer, because I believe there's no longer a specific summer disbursement anymore. So that's a consideration to keep in mind when you're taking this program, is that it is 2 years, full-time, year-round. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
All 3 of those pre-required courses, you have to have those done before you can even apply to it?
Oh, no, that's a good question. You can apply while you're working on your prerequisites. You can go ahead and apply. You can go ahead and interview. Your acceptance would then be contingent upon finishing and passing those by the end of the spring in the year that you're applying. So right now, if you're wanting to apply to this program and you're in college algebra, for example, you can go ahead and apply. And then they'll ask for your transcript at the end. If there was a problem, of course, that would, do something to your acceptance, but otherwise you can stay the course there. Anesthesia Technology is a program we have at Arkansas Children's Hospital. This is an exciting new opportunity in healthcare. Pulaski Tech is the 8th school in the nation to have an accredited anesthesia technology program. When we started the process, we were the 3rd, and now we're the 8th accredited program. So you've probably heard of a surgical tech, or you might have heard it called scrub tech, and those are the guys that help out with the instruments for the surgeon and pass them the scalpel and those kind of things like that. It's the same idea, except instead of working for the surgeon, you're working for the anesthesiologist. So you're setting up the equipment, you're calibrating, you're maintaining, you're doing maintenance if necessary, you're cleaning up afterwards, those kind of things to help out the anesthesiologist. This is a 1-year program that begins every January, so it is not something that begins in the fall. So that application deadline is in October. You are selected based on a point system that is based on your GPA, your testing score, and completion of certain courses that are required for the degree. And then once you get a score, you're invited to an interview with the doctors who teach the program at Children's Hospital. There's really not a set limit of students that we accept. If you generally score a certain range and they interview you and you do well at your interview, they'll accept you into the program. Now, as I said, this is an emerging field, and we are educating hospitals in the state about it. We have, of course, Children's on board. They came to us having this desire of this position. We have open communications with Baptist Health and UAMS, who are going to begin hiring our graduates in 2014, so we're really excited about that. Our first class just graduated, and both of them got jobs in the Little Rock area, so we're very excited about how this has really taken off. The prerequisites for this program are a little more extensive because it is a one-year program. It's kind of hard to squeeze everything else in. So the things you do need to have beforehand, which you can do in an additional year, is your Comp 1, algebra, computer. There's the A&P course again, structure and function, and fundamental chemistry. All right, so that is the Associate Applied Science in Allied Health. The last degree that I am the director for is the Associate Applied Science in Occupational Therapy Assistant. And this is one of our, if not the most popular degrees at Pulaski Tech and Baptist Health. This one's a little unique, and it can be confusing on the outside looking in. But essentially, Baptist Health teaches the program for us with their faculty, their clinical, their curriculum, and we award the degree at the end. So just like with St. Vincent's, Baptist Health is solely responsible for accepting students into this program. They accept 18 students a year, and the minimum requirements, you can see the deadline is approaching this spring of April 15th. And again, if you're in the middle of your prereqs, that's fine. You can still go ahead and apply. They just need to be done by the end of the spring. The minimum requirements are an ACT score of 19 and those 9 hours listed, Comp 1, college algebra, and psychology. Any additional courses that you have done that are on the degree plan will benefit you because they're bonus points. So once again, just like with other programs, if you get enough points, you'll be invited to an interview with their staff where they will want to know what you know about the field, why you're choosing it, what your commitment is to the 2 years of the program, and just a little bit more about you and your commitment to it. So that is our OTA program, something we're very proud of. All right, and so I'll turn it over to Ms. Byrd to talk about the rest of our programs.
All right, all of these now are technical certificates that I'm going to talk about. This one has the least requirements on the front end. You do have to have all of your developmental courses done, and then you can apply to the program, and they accept 26 in this program. And it's on the first, it's whoever submitted their application first, okay? So this one, you can go ahead and apply to it if you were interested, and then if you had got your others completed. But they do, it's the first 26. It's not based on points or anything like that, okay? This is the one that I usually do the most advising about, is practical nursing. And this program is a 1 year as well. We do have what we call the traditional and the non-traditional. The traditional program is the day program, and it's in the fall semester, spring, and summer, first summer. First summer is basically doing your NCLEX studying for state boards, okay? The prerequisites for most of these are about the same. You can see it's structure and function that he talked about. Math for Allied Health, which is a new math class that we have, and it is in lieu of college algebra. But when I'm advising for nursing, I would tell you the same as he did. If you have plans to go on to an RN program and you have time, you're better off to take A&P 1 and 2 and then college algebra as well. Okay? So the nursing program, in the day program, they accept 40, and then they'll do some alternates. And every year, some of the alternates do get in, because by the time you get to the end date, some of those people have changed their mind, gone to a different school or whatever. So there will be some alternates that do that. The non-traditional program, which is evening and Saturdays, is exactly the same as the day program, but it's stretched over a 2 year span. for people who basically have a good day job and don't want to quit it, and so they'll stretch it. It starts in even years. It won't start again until 2014. One of the questions that I get asked most of all is how many apply, because people want to know, could you accept 40? And that's kind of something that I really, to tell you how many apply is going to make you think, oh my goodness, because we probably had 700 apply already for this year. But that's not the number that you need to think about. I think last year they considered out of about 150. So because if you don't do the prereqs and all that. And one of the things that is very important on the prereqs, just like the structure and function, biology is a prereq for that. And as it is for A&P 1, college algebra, if you don't test directly into that, you've got to work up to it. So I see people who are very disappointed. They'll come to see me and think they can go right to A&P or right to structure and function. And that's why it's very important that you come and talk to an advisor about our job on the front end is to keep you on track so that you don't take things you don't need and so that you take things in the correct order. I've had 3 people in the past month that had they come to see me this semester before we registered, could have tried for this year, they'll have to wait another year simply because they didn't take the right class. So it's very important that, and it's not that we know we have all the answers, but we try to help you stay on track. And then one other thing that I would like to say that we talked about at lunch, anytime you have a question about any program or anything for that matter, financial aid, please don't listen to other students. It's not that they don't mean well, it's not that at all, but don't take their word for it. Don't let them say, well, they told me that you didn't have to do that, because they just don't know a lot of times, or it's just incorrect information, and it could cost you a whole year, it could cost you no telling. So if I don't know the answer, I'm going to send you to someone that I think might, and so will Ben. And if you ask me a question about financial aid, I'm going to say, I don't know one thing about financial aid, don't want to. But, so, it's just so important for you, and it really distresses me when I see a student that has to wait another year just simply because someone gave them the wrong information. Now, respiratory therapy is another one of our programs on this campus. I'm supposed to be the advisor about that, but I don't do much of it because Jimmy likes to do his own, and I usually send you to Mr. Davis because he likes to talk to you, and he's very good at that. He does require a 63 on the math, even if you've already had college algebra. So that's something that is different from the other programs. And you'll notice the prereqs for that are basically like the others except for physics. This is your Englishes and, college algebra, microbiology, things that almost all your allied health programs will have basically the same prereqs. So here on this campus, dental assisting, respiratory, practical nursing, that is what I usually try to do. And here's where you can get a hold of us. I'm over in the Allied Health Building, 2nd floor. When you get off the elevator, there's a little wall, and I'm sitting out there in the lobby. Mr. Peacock comes here on Tuesdays, and then you can get a hold of him other time he's over at Baptist.
All right, so again, I just want to try to encourage you to schedule an appointment for some one-on-one time with an advisor. There's Ms. Byrd's information if you're interested in dental, practical nursing, and respiratory. And for me, because I travel among all the sites that I told you about, the best opportunity to catch me is by making an appointment. And I've made another short URL there for you at the end where you can set that appointment. Generally, I'm here on Tuesdays. If you're interested in the Baptist Health Program, those are Wednesdays and Thursdays, or I'm at the South Campus on Friday mornings as well. I guess the last thing I would say that Ms. Byrd kind of sparked me to remember is that when you see requirements for application, there's generally not an exception. We get a lot of questions, do I really have to have an ACT score of 19 if I've had all my basics? Yes, you still have to have a testing score in most cases, even if you've completed all your developmental coursework, okay? There's just too many applicants in some of these programs to start making exceptions that way. So, like for the OTA program, they don't take the compass. You do have to have the ACT score. So regardless of how far along in college you are, you have to go back and take that exam. All right, well, we can help you out and walk through any of this info over here. Appreciate you coming out. And good luck to you.